Bertha. It's been an interesting storm through every phase of its life cycle, and that will include its final chapter. Tropical Storm Bertha is now limping inland over Texas. That lopsided storm made landfall in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana. It was about 24 hours ago. Its tropical lifespan, as I mentioned, is nearing its end, but we are still following its impact. So let's bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, I suppose this storm's nothing if not consistent, right? At least with its very poor structure. What do you think what's left of this storm's going to look like?
Well, I think it's weakening significantly. Some folks will experience some kind of tropical feeling rain that has a little bit of a different feel to it than regular old rain on the Texas coast. And there's a pretty good band of rain going through southeastern Louisiana up through New Orleans, has some good downpours. But I think when they do a post-analysis by this point that this is going to be over. And I think by 5 o'clock will probably be the last advisory. We'll see. Sometimes they surprise me at the Hurricane Center, but I don't see much left of this. All right, but we still have this obvious-looking big cluster of thunderstorms here, but the center is up in here as of the 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time advisory, right over Sabine Lake. We'll look at that in detail in a second. As of 2 p.m. Eastern, 45-mile-an-hour winds somewhere offshore here, moving west at 10. That's this thing moving west at 10. And 10:04 was the pressure. Pressure continuing to go up as the entire system is weakening. Other thing to notice here is look at the dark colors that were there. Now as it's moving ashore, we don't see those. The darker the color, and you even see some white there, meant very tall thunderstorms that are just collapsing right now. And as that happens, we might have some gusty winds in that cell, but it's weakening dramatically as running into dry air as it moves inland. All right, here you see the swirl that they're following, though this is the center of rotation of what is this storm called? Bertha. Lost track there for a second. It's been a long week. But anyway, what you really see here is that these are all kind of grayish clouds. These down here are the white clouds. So these are all low clouds, kind of light tropical showers. It's tropical air, so it has a feel to it, but there just is not much going on there. Over here, we see this band going up into greater New Orleans. That actually has some brighter white thunderstorms associated with it. It's just kind of an outer band in this big circulation. When we look at the wider view, here you can see the bright whites of this thunderstorm complex here down to the south. Let's zoom in there and take a look at the radar. And what you can see is there was a tremendous amount of lightning offshore there, Matagorda Bay and north of Corpus. In between Port Lavaca there and Corpus, there's a Rockport, as I recall. And Rockport is where Hurricane Harvey initially made landfall, did so much damage there before it went up to Houston as a tropical storm and stalled. So they're getting the worst of it, but yellows on the radar are not really a big deal, especially for anywhere in the south where you get real downpours, or anywhere in the north lately, actually. And what we do see here, that you see this is like kind of bright little cell right there. Here it comes, here it comes. Isolated cells right in this area here. Had a waterspout look like in it. Actually had rotation on the radar. But anyway, all of this is dissipating. So it's a slug of rain coming in, pushing ashore, light and maybe occasional moderate rain. Let's go close up there, and maybe you can see, there's that cell. See that cell right there, right there. That one. That was the one with the waterspout, but even that you can see is kind of being swept south now that the axis of flow is changing around this big circulation related to the tropical storm. Farther north, offshore of Galveston, down to Freeport, looks like some pretty good cells coming ashore there. But again, I think because there's so much more dry air over the land, that there's not going to be a whole lot that gets inland. Hurricane Center forecasting isolated spots to see 6 inches of rain. Not seeing the indication of that here. I think it's kind of collapsing, but we'll see. And there's what's left of the swirl. And as I said, boy, there is just not much to show for the swirl here near Beaumont, Texas, right now. So my guess is that this will have been dissipated by the next advisory. So here you see the winds going on, and we still have some southerly winds that are gusting to 31 at Lake Charles, 26 here in Sabine. Notice they're coming the direction here, coming out of the southwest at Sabine here, coming out of the northwest at Galveston, which tells you that there's kind of a circulation up in here. And look at Houston now. We're getting some gusts up to 24. You know, this is what we're going to see, the kind of thing we're going to see. And you can make out this big circulation like that, kind of combining all these factors. So when this axis goes by, that's when maybe you'll see the strongest winds, but strongest winds are not very strong. Looking close up at the coast, wow, we have a couple up to 10 miles an hour here, and they're coming from the south now. So that axis is just going through. So it's kind of a nothing burger there. Okay, just a quick look at the cone just for nostalgia's sake, for memories. And you'll see that they're forecasting it to move near the Houston area for whatever's left of the circulation. But again, it's the storms and showers along the coast pushing into coastal Texas right now that'll be the issue. The 40 miles per hour would be in some gusts well offshore over the Gulf. I don't think we're going to see that over the land here coming up from this thing that is already dying. All right, Ian, I think we're getting the nails in our hand, ready to put them in the coffin.
Well, geez, Brian, I was getting ready to ask you how you really feel about this tropical system. I did actually want to ask you that in not so many words. The thinking here, is this just uniformity? I know a lot has been discussed about the messaging from the National Hurricane Center. They don't like pulling the plug on things until it's really dead, like you're saying. Is that what we're watching here in the final stages of this?
Well, you know, the tropical storm does it have an organized circulation, and are there winds of 40 miles per hour associated with the circulation? You know, and then I guess the question is if the circulation is really tilted and those winds are separated because the circulation is tilted, you know, you could stretch the definition to say, all right, that all still fits. And we certainly have seen the 40-mile-an-hour winds. We had gusts up to hurricane force at an elevated platform, but you know, we've seen. It only has to be in one spot in the whole circulation in order for it to meet the definition. So they're not going to pull the plug on it early. You know, as long as it's got a circulation, they're going to stay with the tropical storm and keep the messaging smooth.
Yeah. I'm all about the smooth messaging for sure. But one spot, 200 miles away, it's the definition is as stretched as the structure of the storm. Brian.
Yes, exactly.
Through the final stages we go, and we'll keep an eye on some of that heavier rain off to the south of the core through what's left of the storm. That's our hurricane specialist, Bryan Norcross. We will have that 5 p.m. update. As you said, maybe the last one coming up. We'll dig into that with you coming up in just a little bit. Bryan, thank you.